Shalom to the nation of Israel, starting off with the hopeful elect. First and foremost, before I get into my lesson, I want to start off by giving our praises unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, and peace, the bishops, elders of Great Millstone, and salutation also to the fellow laborers that's out there in the ministry, and the believers that scatter worldwide in all truth and sincerity, day in and day out. Once again, I'm the brother Shaquat Gabar, coming at you with another lesson. And right before I get into this lesson, this message or these videos goes out to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites according to the Bible. And also to the Israelite foreigners that scattered amongst the heathen nations that may take on a physical appearance or look of another nation. But if your bloodline goes back to Negro, Latino, or Native American descent by the seed of your father, you are considered an Israelite as well. So once again, shalom. So this will just be a quick lesson. Okay, touching on, I'm gonna start off with 2nd Esdras, the 16th chapter, verse 37. Okay, going into when it comes to the plagues, okay, in the form of prophecies, okay, which the word prophecy mean to say before. And Yahweh Shemel Shai through the Spirit has set up the prophets, okay, to pre-announce these things, okay, or give that warning of what's to come. Okay, mainly start with the men of Great Millstone, okay, and you got other camps out there as well, but a lot of them not giving warning, okay, to a certain extent, okay, but the point is, prophecies are coming to pass, okay, in this case when it comes to plagues, man, especially when it comes to this place, America, which is known as Babylon the Great, okay, which is at this time being ruled by the biblical Edomites, okay, mainly the elites, okay, when it comes to the so-called white race, okay, these elites, the central bankers, okay, when the ones that call themselves the Illuminated One or the Illuminati, okay, secret societies, okay, and at this time they're ruling, okay, and on down to the lesser luminary ones that doing their bidding when it comes to government officials, okay, here in the States, man, okay, and down to the average Edomites as well that got privilege, okay, but now we're at the point, okay, the coming of the downfall, okay, and this place America is also known as our captivity when it comes to the so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, okay, and so due to all the wickedness that this place uphold, okay, starting how this place was built off the enslavement of the Negro, Latino, and Native American, okay, and the bloodshed, okay, by the hands of Esau, Edom, and including these heathens at this time as well, okay, and all the wickedness that this place uphold here in America when it comes to, you know, the different sets of religions, these false gods that's been uplift, idol worship, hedonistic customs, okay, that's placed entice or influence, okay, especially when it comes to the tribes, when it comes to you Negro, Latino, and Native Americans. And at this time, 2/3 of so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans gonna be judged, according to Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8, okay, because only the elect is going to be delivered, which we're considered the 144,000 and the 1/3 that destined to be saved. That's a so-called Negro, Latino, Native American descent, okay? And like I've been going into this place about the spirit as well, Jacob's trouble, okay? And when it comes to the plagues, man, okay, this place about to witness a financial crash, okay, that's going to lead to more civil unrest, civil wars, race wars, okay, clash wars, okay, the coming of food shortages, okay, which equal famine, okay, the coming of pestilence, okay, judgment by the way of teeth of wild beasts, natural disasters, as they will call it, okay, when it comes to at this place now, or the world, well, you know, here in America, experiencing heat waves, okay, gonna lead to, you know, droughts, okay, the agriculture and cattle being destroyed, okay, severe cold weather, hurricanes, earthquake, okay? And judgment, okay, how the Lord about to bring. Okay, you see how wicked this place is, man. Okay, but Yahweh Shemel Shah has set up the prophets. Hey, but majority of our people, they push the day of the Lord off, okay, saying that nothing ain't gonna happen. When it comes to the non-believers of the 2/3, those that scoff and scorn and come against the prophets, okay? Even more and more, it be coming to the time, ultimately, that this place about to be destroyed by the way of thermonuclear missiles at the peak of the Third World War, okay? And also leading to who the world called Christ, ignorantly called Christ, Yahweh Shai's second coming, by the way of the chariots, what the world called UFOs, okay? And when it comes to Yahweh Shai bringing war and destruction, bringing fire, okay, at the peak of the Third World War, and only, once again, delivering the elect out of that great destruction, okay? So we coming in these times. We are in these times, okay? That soon more and more coming to pass. So let me go ahead and start off with the scriptures. This is 2nd Esdras, once again, chapter 16, verse 37. Behold, the plagues draweth nigh, and are not slack. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bring forth a son, okay, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child come forth, they slack not a moment. And so the Lord comparing these plagues or the coming destruction of this place, America, as a woman in travail, okay, about to give birth, okay? The birth pains, the contractions, okay, when a woman about to give birth to a child, okay, how agony, how and in that painful state, the women be in, okay, before that that baby arrive or that child arrive, okay. And so that's how these plagues coming, and these people is going to be in a state of anguish as a woman just as about to give birth, okay. And by the way of these plagues, man, and it says they slack not, okay. And it says, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side, okay. And so it's gonna come worldwide. People are suffering due to Esau Edom rulership, but mainly this place, America, okay, about to take the worst hit when it comes to the Lord's judgment, man. Okay, when it comes to these heathens over here, and 2/3 of our people, okay, the Lord about to bring plagues upon, okay, when it comes to this place, America. As I gave an example of a few, okay, so they not slack, okay, according to majority of these people when it comes to their non-belief, man. Okay, and a lot of people, starting to see things happening. Okay, a lot of people say, yeah, we ain't end times. Things ain't how it used to be here in America. Okay, but a lot of them can't pinpoint it back to the judgment that the Lord about to bring upon this place when it comes to the prophecies. Okay, when it comes to the scriptures. Okay, that's why the Lord set up the prophets, and only the elect is going to take heed. Okay, and receive His word, man. Okay, so the plagues coming in the form of as a woman about to give birth, man. Okay, them labor pains. Let's get this. Let's get Isaiah chapter 13, verse 8. And it says, and there shall be afraid, pains and sorrow shall take hold of them, and they shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another, and their faces shall be as flames. Okay, the ultimate destruction of this place, America, and people getting destroyed by the way of the missiles. Okay, especially those of our people that take that RFID microchip, because that's going to be that's what's about to come now. Okay, the next key prophecy. Okay, when it comes to Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, and this place is ready to go cashless when it comes to these elites' agenda, when it comes to the NWO. Okay, but the penalty of those that take that RFID micro, okay, according to Revelation chapter 14, verse 9, they're going to be destroyed by the way of the missiles. Okay, and the chariots bringing fire. Okay, but like I say, prior to that, in the anarchy society or anarchy, when all hell break loose, okay, it's gonna be chaotic. okay, as the Lord's bringing plagues upon this place, America, and 2/3 of our people being judged right along with these heathens. Because once again, salvation is only for the elect, okay? And after the great destruction of this place, America, okay, Yahweh Shah is going to establish the kingdom of Israel here on the earth, in the land of Israel, which that land, the land of Israel, going to be cleansed by the way of fire, okay, mainly by the way of, the missiles, okay, at the peak of the Third World War as well, okay, and that land will be cleansed because the people that's over there are not the true inheritors, okay, and once that land be cleansed, Yahweh Shah is going to descend the elect, okay, us are the hopeful elect back here on the earth, okay, after the great deliverance, the rule, okay, and the elites of Esau, Edom, and the heathens that remain, okay, those outside of America, okay, they future is captivity, starting with the elites, as these elites going to be in their retreats, okay, and the Lord going to set up his men, okay, to gather them and put them in captivity, okay, and during that time, the Lord's elect men, okay, Lord, when I'm part of that number, okay, we're going to receive immortality, okay, spiritual power to its fullest, okay, and when it comes to the elect men, okay, and we're going to gather Esau, Edom, and these heathens and throw them in captivity, and they're going to build up our kingdom, okay, which another way saying outside of the kingdom of Yahweh Shai is the house of David, okay, because David is going to be established once again, okay, when it comes to his throne, okay, that Yahweh Shai is going to set up, okay, right along with the rest of the elect, okay, and like I say, then that the heathen's going to build up our land, okay, but this place, America, those that be destroyed in this place, okay, no, I say this, when this land destroyed, okay, once the fire and the smoke dies down, this land never going to be inhabited again by nations. It's going to become a desert, okay, and I'll say this, in the 2/3 of our people that perish on the side, they're going to come back in the kingdom, being reborn, okay, or reincarnated, okay, being the sons and daughters of the elect, okay, and the heathen nations that perish on the side, they're going to be reborn or reincarnated in the kingdom, okay, through the other nations that be reserved for captivity, okay, they're going to be reborn as slaves, man, okay, so let me see, yeah, but the whole point, okay, eventually this place from America going to be destroyed, man, okay, we are in those pointed times, okay, let's get this, Isaiah chapter 42, verse 13, the Lord shall go forth as a mighty man, he shall stir up jealousy like a man of war, okay, the Lord come with war, judgment, okay, and by the way, these plagues, the Lord proving, okay, how he's coming, okay, contrary to popular belief, okay, when it comes to Christianity, okay, they have you say, or they have the saying that the Lord gonna come with peace, harmony, he's gonna gather all nations, okay, nah, that's false, man, okay, the Lord come back to bring judgment and to separate, okay, and it says, he shall cry, yea, and roar, he shall prevail against his enemies. I had a long time holding my peace, I've been still and refrained myself, okay, so Lord Yahweh Shah allowed all this wickedness to go on so he can justify to bring judgment, okay, upon these heathens, okay, starting with Esau, Edom, and at this time 2/3 of our people. And it says, now will I cry like a travailing woman, I will destroy it and devour it at once. And that's how these plagues going to come once again, no labor pains, okay, and eventually Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah bringing judgment, okay, when Yahweh Shah return, okay, by the way of the chariots, okay, and bringing that fire, man, okay, but us, okay, are the hopeful elect, although we know we're in this captivity, we under the curses, okay, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 16 through 68, okay, and we know that this place is our punishment, okay, but we're looking for the Lord to have mercy upon us as the Lord going to deliver the elect, okay, eventually us the hopeful elect, okay, and that's what our rejoice is in, okay, because we know that this is not the end all to be all. Okay, once again, we know that Yahweh Shah is coming to establish a righteous kingdom, and eventually us being the nation of Israel, okay, hopeful elect, we're going to be joint heirs. Okay, we're going to receive a crown. Okay, we're going to receive immortality. Okay, the new covenant, the law, statutes, commandments in our inward parts. Okay, according to Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 31, and Hebrews chapter 8, starting at verse 6. Okay, so that's only going to be given unto us. And that's what we're looking forward to. Okay, an everlasting kingdom and a rule, okay, forever with Yahweh Shai. Okay, and the names of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai be exalted. Okay, it ain't going to be no more of these false gods or idol worship or hedonistic customs in the kingdom. Man. Okay, these heathens, when our kingdom is established, they're going to have to follow our ways. Well, in our kingdom, in the world at that time, forever going to be governed by the law, statutes, commandments. Okay, and after the first 1,000-year period in the kingdom, okay, the only nation that's going to be done away with is the Edomites as a whole. Obadiah 1 and 18. Okay. But let me get this and I'll get ready to close. John chapter 16, verse 21. A woman, when she is in travail, has sorrow because her hour is come. Okay, once again, these plagues coming as in the spiritually or allegory, okay, as a woman that's in labor. Okay, when it comes to the Lord's judgment. Okay. But soon as she is delivered of the child, she remember no more of the anguish for joy that a man is born into the world. Okay, and that's how the Lord, eventually when the Lord delivered the elect from out of the great destruction, okay, Yahweh Shai, okay, that's it. We ain't gonna go into captivity no more. Okay, we're gonna have everlasting rejoicing, okay, joy, life, okay, serving Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, okay, forevermore. Okay, to having the resources of the earth, okay, the pleasures of what the Lord gonna give us. Okay, start with the men. Okay, when it comes to men having wives, multiple wives, children, like I said, that spiritual power. Okay, never more sorrow, no more hunger for us, no more being in poverty. Okay, no everlasting rejoicing in life. No more illness, no sickness. Okay, you ain't got to worry no more the tribes fighting amongst each other, murdering each other. Okay, hey, the curses. Okay, ain't got to worry about the curses. Okay, we're gonna receive the blessings according to as well. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 1 through 15. Okay, everything gonna prosper on our behalf or in our favor, man. Okay, the finest things, man, that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai gonna give us, man. Okay, but right now we're in the transition of that power. Okay, and in the transition now we're approaching Jacob's trouble, all hell breaking loose. Okay, these plagues, man. Okay, when it comes as these birth pains, as a woman with birth pains. Okay, but the Lord said once that child, as like a woman, once she give birth, okay, to a child, okay, she forget about those birth pains and rejoice, okay, in her child, okay, just as the Lord, we're gonna rejoice when Yahweh shall return, okay, and deliver us from out of this low state, okay, and ain't gonna be, like I say, ain't gonna be no more sorrow, okay, no more catching hell, man, no more of those birth pains, okay, for us, man, okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the lesson here, and I pray that this lesson was edifying. Till next time, Lord willing. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom. Stay strong. We almost home. Shalom.